Yo, right here in the webcam. Welcome back to Single Seater Reactions only on the FlexMan Network. I'm the original anomaly. Welcome back to the channel. Hey, y'all notice how 50 Cent be moving nowadays when it comes to Kendrick Lamar? I have, but I never really put two and two together too much like that until I saw the title of this video. This video is by Geek About It, titled "The Secret Beef Between Kendrick Lamar and 50 Detailed." Let's talk about it, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you. I never really thought about it too much, only because it was in the background. You know, we had Drake in the forefront with J. Cole and all that. Joy Badass stepping out. All these different individuals in the forefront. 50 Cent's in the background. I'm always curious about what's going on with Fifth because it's kind of weird how 50 Cent is moving when it comes to Kendrick Lamar's success. You know? So, let's not waste any more time. Make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe. I almost look at the camera again. Make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe. Let me know what you think about the video. Drop a comment down below. Let me know what you think about the reaction. And yeah, I want to know your thoughts down in the comments as well. So, with that being said, let's not waste no more time. Let's go straight in this video, alright? Let's go. Alright, bro. Talk to me. Talk to me. What's good, bro?
Kendrick Lamar has always admired 50 Cent, crediting him as a major influence who taught him how to be a great songwriter. Over the years, Kendrick has openly expressed this respect in interviews, even calling 50 Cent a pivotal figure in shaping his perspective on what it means to be a conscious artist. But as we've seen time and time again, if you work hard enough, your idols will become your rivals. Before now, it seemed like 50 Cent respected Kendrick and his contributions.
What makes him special?
Well, I think that he's just willing to challenge himself. He has the ability to make you believe he had no idea this was going to happen. You knew you was working.
They were both signed to Dr. Dre and Interscope, and more recently they performed on the Super Bowl together.
Well, I got a really good relationship with Top, Kendrick. They're from Interscope Records. I was on Interscope Records then.
And we all remember that Power episode where Kendrick made a memorable cameo. 50 even celebrated Kendrick publicly with the birthday post 2 years ago, which looked to be a sign of genuine admiration. However, recent events have left fans confused about 50's stance.
He a cop?
You jumped out there during the beef, the West Coast versus the Canadian. I thought Dr. Dre put you on. I thought you was loyal to Dr. Dre. You mean you went with the Canadian over Dr. Dre? Who you say changed your life? Loyalty. But you did shut the fuck up once the Canadian took the L. You got totally quiet.
His comments during Drake and Kendrick's beef seemed surprisingly biased. Fans were confused, especially since 50 has maintained a diplomatic tone when addressing Drake in relation to Kendrick, almost like he's careful to avoid the usual funny criticisms he's known for. For instance, 50 has criticized J. Cole for apologizing and backing out of the beef, but he hasn't applied the same energy towards Drake for moves like suing UMG over Not Like Us.
That's what I'm trying to understand. I don't get it, bro. Yo, the way that Fifth was moving, it's almost like he prefers the new school over the old school because the old school probably looks outdated. But it confuses me even more because when looking at Kendrick, the resurgence of old school is celebrated. So for Fifth to move like this, it doesn't make sense.
Well, I don't. You know
what happened?
He didn't want to be a part of it.
I'm just saying to you, the culture, the competitive nature of it.
You think it hurts him?
Yes.
How do you feel about him suing?
I'm feeling Vlad energy off it.
He's slick,
but tell us though. If it's for what I was thinking it's for, then I understand it.
If it's for what you're thinking for, yes.
The song for me played at the Super Bowl because of the do further damage.
This has sparked theories about whether 50 holds some resentments toward Kendrick. Look what happens when he's asked a simple question about Kendrick. He doesn't answer the question at all. And then he goes on to make a whole new point about Drake and Future that had nothing to do with the original question.
Did you think Kendrick had it in him to go as hard as he did?
Look, when they started going, that they like us, I don't have to tell you how territorial West Coast people are.
Yeah, it's not just
artists.
artists.
Just the people in general. When it turned into East Coast, West Coast, you saw what happened. And they're different artists.
I compare Drake to LL Cool J. I think the formula he's using will allow him to have 14 albums.
Yeah.
When he's doing.
He makes great. No.
It's crazy to hear, but that's why I didn't say anything. Drake as LL Cool J. You have to understand LL Cool J's discography. Because when you think about it, LL Cool J, I'm not saying he started the wave, because it was Ja Rule that started the wave. It could have been 50 Cent that started the wave too. But out of the three, each and every one of them, they solidified their game in rap, but ventured over to the R&B side and arose successful. LL Cool J is a great example because when LL Cool J got into his R&B bag in the early 2000s, Love You Better, Hush, Paradise, even Loungin'. All these classics from LL Cool J. To see Drake come in and modernize it, it makes sense. I'm not gonna lie, it really does make sense. And I really have to sit there and kind of salute Fifth and anybody else that made that connection. Because you saw my reaction to it. I was hesitant, and then I thought about the early 2000s with LL Cool J's running R&B, and I said, let me calm down. That's why I stopped the video. Because he's right. I'm not gonna lie. It's just, it sounds crazy to hear. Because if you don't know about LL Cool J, the only thing you're gonna know about him is his rapping capabilities. Especially with his recent album. I really want him to go back into his R&B bag, but I don't think he's gonna do it. But that, to me personally, LL Cool J's R&B like side to him, trust and believe me, it was amazing. Love You Better is still one of my favorite softer tone tracks from LL Cool J, no doubt. And I really got to sit there and salute him for that because he technically started a wave. He might have been the last out of the three with Fifth and Ja Rule included, but it worked so well for him. It's so sad to see him not return to it, you know? But let's keep going.
But look, when you look at the future shit, the shit that charted was Drake records.
Yeah.
What happens later?
It's like he's wanting to stay away from how Kendrick performed and the things he said about Drake. But to understand 50's behavior, we need to step back from our emotional interpretations and focus on his business mindset. This is a strategic move. 50 has always been a shrewd operator. He's heavily influenced by strategy books like Robert Greene's The 48 Laws of Power.
Very true.
He's spoken about how he has used these strategies in business. And
Very
he
true.
authored his own book, The 50th Law.
And I did speak to this in a couple reactions back. When it comes to 50 Cent and him stepping into situations, what you need to understand is with 50 Cent, it's a little more business oriented. Because at the end of the day, he's a businessman. Does he rap? Yes. He doesn't need to anymore because he does film, you know, executive produce, direct, whatever. And then he has his alcohol brands, you know, the cognacs. You know, he has things solidified to make him more money than what music makes him. You know? So it's weird to see Fifth move like this, but at the same time, don't be surprised when Fifth switches up again. These are business moves from a business mindset, because people that are in business are very neutral, right? But they can take sides to shift direction into the favor of the party that could make the most money. And I see why he's on Drake's side, because he probably still sees Drake as the superior artist that can make him more money than Kendrick Lamar. Let's keep going.
With Robert Greene.
A lot of people in hip-hop really like the 48 Laws of Power because the music industry has to be perhaps the most Machiavellian environment that there is. And we thought it'd be really interesting to do a book together because we come from such different backgrounds, but we have a sort of a similar way of thinking.
Kendrick, for all his greatness, doesn't offer 50 the same strategic benefits as Drake does. 50 recognized that Drake needed support during this beef. Nobody stood up for him, and if they did, it was behind the scenes. This was a chance for 50 to align himself, actively hang around him in the heat of the moment, be seen with him. This would have meant a lot more to Drake. When everyone else was against him, 50 Cent was there. He supported him publicly and gave him some well-needed advice. Of course, there are ulterior motives. 50 does not care about who wins what beef. He's way too calculated to pick sides if it doesn't benefit him. This isn't about music. 50 is heavily invested in the film and television industry, with successful franchises like Power and BMF. He recently purchased a movie studio in Shreveport for $25 million. Alongside that, he bought major real estate investments, which will directly affect the success of his studio and projects.
Developing now, rapper Curtis 50 Cent Jackson is making more investments in Shreveport.
He's buying more property, and he's telling KSLA News 12 about new businesses expected to move to Shreveport in 2025.
Why they got her standing up showing stomach?
$27 million in that building that I put alone, just the studio. Everything that I bought away from that is shit I bought just because in the process it makes the place cool.
You know, you've gone to an area, you've brought jobs, you've bought real estate, you're investing in a community that, talk about the foresight to do that and why you did it and the whole
thing. Initially I just was going to do the studio. I took a 99-year lease on the property. And then the stage works along with that.
This is why he's standing next to Drake. Putting Drake in a movie or series almost guarantees him a successful project. Regardless of the outcome of the beef, Drake having a complete role on the screen will be something to watch. He already comes from an acting background, and people have always wanted to see how he'd perform in a starring role. So Drake's first major role could be a game changer. This potential partnership aligns perfectly with 50's long-term goals, making his support for Drake less about loyalty and more about mutual benefit.
How would you advise him in this situation?
I don't know. He got so much. He already has an acting background.
Yeah. So get into the. Should he pivot more to movie, film, go deeper on top of it?
I think he might want to do that kind of stuff anyway.
There's more money in it.
It's conditioned for it.
Yeah.
But just to give himself a break from, because they'll feel it. They're gonna miss it.
Another reason he could be standing behind Drake is he feels he relates to Drake because he went through the same thing. 50 often recounts the 2007 clash with Kanye, where their albums went head-to-head in a highly publicized sales battle. To this day, 50 claims the numbers were manipulated by Jay-Z and Def Jam, suggesting a rigged system.
You know, what happened is, later, if you look at Jay-Z's documentary, he points that moment out as a point that he beat me. Right? How did he beat me if it was Kanye's? Because he was the president of Def Jam, and they did everything they could to make that work at that point. So it was like, we have to make the numbers.
Oh. You think it was fuzzy math?
Absolutely.
The numbers weren't right, big.
Some people foolishly believe Jay-Z is behind what happened to Drake this year.
No.
But even past Jay-Z, some narratives around Drake's beef with Kendrick involve conspiracy theories about UMG favoring Kendrick. 50's own experiences may make him sympathetic to Drake's position. Or maybe he just uses the story with hopes of getting closer to Drake, which in the end will help him get what he wants. Ultimately, 50 doesn't hate Kendrick. There's no evidence of personal animosity. However, his business interests naturally lead him toward aligning with Drake. It's a calculated move like many of 50's other strategic approaches throughout his career. In the end, business is never personal, and 50 Cent is the perfect example of that.
Wow. Wow. I hope this sheds the light on the people out there that click on this video and say, interesting. Why does he move like this? Business, money, marketing, advertising, everything in between. As someone that's business oriented, business driven, you're gonna use strategies that might seem odd, that might seem off, but in the end, you're gonna get what you want. You know what I'm saying? Hey, look, I hope y'all enjoy that reaction. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think about this reaction. With that being said, listen, this is the Flex Mind Network. This is single-seater reactions. Take care, be well, be safe, stay true, be you, live long, and long live peace. Boy, oh boy. What it means to be a businessman. You hear me? What it means to be a businessman.